Hello everyone, this is Krishna Reddy. Here I'm going to explain about Conslist building blocks of immutable list. Here, what is Conslist? Mainly, Conslists are the fundamental data structure that represents a sequence of an element. The term cons comes from the function cons, which is short form of the const. In languages like list, cons is used to create a page, can be linked together to form a list. It's called cons list. Now, what is immutable list? Mainly, immutable lists are unchangeable, persistent, and thread safe. Mainly, unchangeable means immutable lists cannot be altered once created, ensuring the data integrity and predictable behavior. Which means, if we can create a cons list, it cannot be altered, which we cannot be changed is called unchangeable. This is the function of the immutable list. Persistent. The old version of the list are preserved, allowing the efficient branching and merging. The old version of the list, which we can preserve in which can which we can preserve and allowing the efficient branching and merging is also a technique in the immutable list. Thread safe. Immutable lists are inherently thread safe, simplifying the concurrent and programming tasks. Here, unchangeable, persistent, thread safe are the three main functions in the immutable list. Now, here, constructing the conslist. Mainly, conslist can be created using the cons operator. In the cons operator, we can have the head and the tail elements. Here, head means having accessing the first element. Tail means accessing the remaining elements. Here, any cons list is empty, which we can represent as null. By combining the cons and null, which we can build complex and immutable lists to support efficient operators. Here, cons and null, these two operators we can use to construct a cons list. Here, accessing the elements in the cons list, head and tail. So we can discuss. Head can access the only first element, and the tail can access the remaining elements of the cons list. These are the head function and tail function, which we can use it in the cons operator. Right. Modifying the cons list. Here, these are the two operations which we can use to modifying the cons list. Here, prepending and appending, and the functional operations. Two functions which we can modify the cons list. Prepending and appending. Here, creating a new cons list by prepending or appending elements efficient, as it does not mutate the original list. Here, which we can use pretending and or appending operator, which we can create a new cons list without modifying the original one. Here, functional operations. Conslist can support the functional operators like map, filter, and reduce. These three are the functional operators which the conslist are used to transform the list without changing its underlying structure. Without changing the structure of the conslist, these are the three main functional operators used to modifying the conslist. These are the two functions which we can modify in the conslist. Here, mainly three advantages of the constants, which are immutable, immutability, efficient operators, and the functional programming. Here, what is immutability? Immutability means constants are inherently immutable, allowing for safe, concurrent access and easy reasoning about programming state. Efficient operators, pretending and appending, which we can previously discuss. This depending means which we can create a new cons list without modifying the original one. Accessing elements in the cons list are highly efficient with constant time performance. Here, functional programming means cons lists seamlessly integrate with functional programming techniques like recursion, pattern mapping, pattern matching, and pirate function. These are the three techniques in the functional programming which we can use it to which we can use it in the Conslist. Here, these are the common Conslist problems occurring in a Conslist are recursion and space complexity. Here, recursion means efficiently traversing and manipulating Conslist often requires mastering recursion programming techniques. Recursion and space complexity. Large constraints can consume significant memory due to recursive nature of the data structure. These are the two these are the two main problems which are occurring in the constellation. Yeah, conclusion of the constellation. These three are the takeaways of the constellation, which are powerful immutable data structure, functional operations, complexity, memory requirements. Here, powerful means the constellations are very powerful and the immutable data structure that enable efficient programming, which means constants are very powerful to enable the efficient in the programming language. Functional operations. The recursive structure and support for functional operations make them versatile choice for many programming tasks, which are functional operators, which are previously we can discuss that are map, filter, and recurse. Mainly recurse the structure which we can versatile choose many programming tasks. Here. Complexity and memory requirement. Here, which Conslist, while Conslist offer advantages, navigating their complexity and memory requirements require careful consideration and mastery of the functional techniques. These three are the takeaways of the Conslist means powerful functional data structure and the complexity. Now, here the basic Java code for the Conslist, how to create, how to access, and how to create a new Conslist and map function, how to create a new, how to returning the new list. And the null here. Cons means to construct a new Conslist. Here, cons having the head element and the tail element. And here, accessing the head. You can use head element to accessing the first element of the Conslist. Another tail element, which we can access the remaining elements of the Conslist. Here, head and the tail. These two in the Conslist to create a new Conslist. Now, here, prepending means which we can discuss to create a new list. Pretending means if we can use the pretend operator, which we can create a new list without modifying this original one. Map function. Here, map function is the functional operator which we can apply the function of each and every element in the list, which returning the new element, new cons list. Here, null. Null if any cons list is empty, is the empty cons list is called null, which we can denote with null element. This is the basic Java code for the for creating the cons list, for accessing the elements to and identifying the cons list is empty or not, and the pretending values which we can create a new list, and the map functions which are functional operators that mainly used in the cons list to returning the new cons list. Here null means if any cons list is empty, it returns the null. Thank you.